When it comes to Deku, he's not just a hero, but a force of nature. And the question is, can Jujutsu Kaisen handle the storm that is one for all? Can an unbreakable spirit punch through limitless voids? Hey guys, just want to let you know that this intro style is from Divine. We just wanted to do it to test it out and see if y'all like it. Now, anyways,
we're going to put the best Jujutsu Kaisen sorcerers against Deku in one-on-one fights and the jumping scenarios. The fighters include Todo, Yuta, Yuji, Yuki, Sukuna, and Gojo. There's also the disaster curses, but this isn't anything that Deku isn't used to. Hikari won't pose a threat because he can't do anything that'll hurt Deku, and Kashima will probably just get speed blitzed like how Sukuna did him. We'll briefly cover Deku's speed, strength, and durability while we talk about how he'll fare against the sorcerers. Then analyze how the sorcerers fare in both solo and group fights. I'll explain Jujutsu Kaisen, and he'll cover Deku. Todo's kinda interesting because of his curse technique, Boogie Woogie. This allows him to trade places with anything that he chooses, but he has to clap. His IQ is also insanely high. 530,000 is bro's IQ. After Mahito got rid of Boogie Woogie, Todo brought it back with the Vibra Slap, buffing the curse technique. He went from only being able to swap per clap to now 50 swaps per second.
Okay, so Todo still has to clap, right? And that takes time. So if we use this video, which you guys should totally check out, the slowest that we got Deku is 218 times the speed of sound. So the moment Todo even thinks about clapping, Deku's already in his face. And it also states Todo can clap roughly around 50 times a second, meaning he can clap once every 0.02 seconds. Deku can move over 200 meters in 0.003649 seconds, which we calculated in this video using Lady Nagat's bullet. And you can't say, well, Todo can clap faster than that. It literally says 50 times a second, bro. So Deku's moving at speeds that will make Todo's technique basically useless. And we're not even using Deku's maximum speed or the fastest we got him. So what that means is Todo's dead. Before, some of you say his IQ is extremely high and he can think extremely fast, his body would have to move for him to even clap. So now let's say Deku's getting jumped and Todo is teleporting everyone. Once Deku finds out Todo is teleporting everyone, Todo is going to die. Even if Todo is able to switch places, it doesn't matter where he stands when Deku's fist finds him every time.
Yuta has an insane amount of cursed energy, so much that he has more than Gojo, and it's stated to be bottomless, but of course that's false, because Yuta said himself that he can run out. Yuta is able to copy his enemy's abilities. Think of Kakashi from Naruto, but more broken. So due to Kenjaku being able to react to Yuki's black hole in which light cannot escape, this would make Kenjaku's reaction time faster than light at least, and Yuta was able to blitz Kenjaku easily, meaning Yuta probably moves faster than Kenjaku's reaction time, meaning Yuta moves faster than light. But of course, it was a sneak attack, so kinda iffy. And also, Yuki did tell Kenjaku what she was doing before even finishing the black hole, giving him more time to react.
Is he stupid?
But we'll just say that he can react to light speed attacks for now. His domain, all-encompassing, unequivocal love, allows Yuta to choose any one of his curse techniques that he has copied. Bro's kinda cracked.
Honestly though, it doesn't really matter. After Deku finishes off Todo, he's going to punch a hole in Yuta. Let me explain. Deku is just simply faster than Yuta. If we use stars and stripes from My Hero, which we did not do in our last video, Shigaraki can react to light attacks as he reflected stars and stripes beams of light. Now this was Shigaraki when he was in his incomplete form. Shigaraki gets stronger and even compares himself to Prime All Might, and then Deku was able to blitz him. So the fact that Shigaraki is able to react to light just like Kenjaku did, the only difference is when Deku blitzed Shigaraki, he was at 45%. You have to take in account for his gear shift that makes him faster, his Fajin that makes him faster, and his overdrive that goes up to 120% that makes him faster. Using all of those buffs, it is safe to say Deku is faster than Yuta. And if we say they're not and they're on the same level of speed, Deku is just stronger than Yuta. Yuta has never done anything like this or this. And if Yuta tries to open his domain, I mean, he's gonna get smacked out of it just like Sukuna did him. Yuta's boundless cursed energy meets Deku's unbreakable will. Only one will come out on top, and it won't be the cursed child.
Being the twin nephew of the king of all curses means that you have to have some sort of immense power, right? Well, you wouldn't be wrong. Although he's not the strongest in the verse, he still holds his own in the top 5. He wouldn't be able to beat the likes of Sukuna or Gojo, but he does stand a chance against everyone else in JJK. Yuji also possesses RCT, reversing all damages and harm that the curse user withdraws. One of the key factors that makes Yuji stand out is Cleave and Soul Dismantle. During his fight with Sukuna, he made a binding vow that Dismantle would attack the barrier dividing Sukuna and Megami's soul. This would also require contact to use. use. Here's the controversial part. Would Soul Dismantle actually work on Deku? Yes, it worked on Mahito, who can't take physical damage. So basically, Yuji has durability negation. His piercing blood isn't even worth mentioning. His domain isn't really that impressive either. It's kind of like a stats booster with a guaranteed dismantle hit, so it's not really anything like too impressive. We can really rank his speed high and say that he is as fast as light. Sukuna is considered light speed because of Kashimo, which we'll get into later, and since Yuji could keep up with Sukuna, that means that Yuji is probably light speed. If you want to lowball him, piercing blood was stated to be as fast as sound. Yuji was able to react to this while fighting Choso, making him fast as sound.
Okay, so the only thing Yuji has over Deku is probably his domain, but after that, let me tell you why, don't click off. It's simply because Yuji hasn't done something like this or this. And what this basically means is Deku hits really hard. So now we have to look at Yuji's soul ability. If Yuji does hit Deku, it could be a problem because his soul ability is basically durability negation. And what that means is no matter how durable you are, he's attacking your soul. So you will take all the damage unless your soul has like some protection or something. So now we got to look at if Deku can even be hit by Yuji. There have been 3 times where it shows photon or light attacks in My Hero: Naval Laser, Stars and Stripes Laser, and the movie. If you don't want to use this because Mina can literally dodge it, and that would basically mean people like Mina, like low class heroes, I guess. No offense to Mina, but basically low class heroes can all react to the speed of light. Basically everyone can react to the speed of light. We can then use Stars and Stripes lasers, which Shigaraki can reflect. And we basically already said how fast Deku was by using Stars and Stripes lasers, so we're basically just gonna skim past this part. We can also talk about Kashimo's electromagnetic waves, but we'll get into that later, don't worry. So Deku will probably do the same thing to Yuji that he did to Yuta.
There's not really much to say about Yuki. We really only put her here for one technique: the black hole. This was stated to have the destructive capability to destroy the world. If not for Tengen, the whole verse would have ended in the Culling games. Let's say Yuki goes full Megami mode and decides to kill everyone that is jumping Deku and spawn her black hole.
Okay, so this is gonna be pretty short and simple. Gear shift will not work on this black hole, so Deku is not escaping, so he's dead. That means if she sets off the black hole, literally everybody dies, including Gojo, because black holes ban space and whatnot. Gojo's not living that, and it would be considered a draw since literally everyone dies. But Deku does have danger sense, so if he senses she's about to do something crazy, and yes, it does work like that because Toga was like doing bad stuff, but that was her way of showing love, so danger sense wasn't picking it up, making her dangerous. So if he senses dangerous intent from Yuki, he's probably gonna pack her up. But if she does, you know, make the black hole, everyone's dead.
Spread those cheeks now.
When Kashimo transformed, he was basically blitzing Sukuna, probably meaning that he got a significant speed boost. Now, is this speed faster than light because he covered himself in electromagnetic waves? Probably not, due to the fact that he was only covered in it. Just because you're covered in something doesn't mean that you're as fast as it. Therefore, realistically, we say that Kashimo is not as fast as light, but for the sake of Sukuna and this video, we'll say that he is as fast as light. Now, when Sukuna transformed, he then blitzed Kashimo, so this would probably make Sukuna light speed or faster. Sukuna was also getting jumped by many sorcerers after fighting Gojo. He also survived a hollow purple. Here's the iffy part though. If Sukuna's reaction time is truly light speed, he should be able to react to Yuji teleporting around everywhere, no matter what, because light speed is obviously faster than a clap every 0.2 seconds. For now, we're just gonna ignore it and say that all of Yuji's punches were flukes. Let's talk about his trump card, Malevolent Shrine. While an opponent is in his domain, he treats them like his personal cutting board. Cleave is the attack that targets anything with cursed energy and trying to cut it down, while Dismantle breaks down any inanimate objects or pieces of the opponent.
I'm gonna be frank with y'all. If Sukuna summons Mahoraga, we can already see in the manga that if you finish him off fast enough, he just dies and does not have time to adapt, unlike in the anime. But in the manga, he adapts like almost instantly. So now how does Deku combat this? By punching him so hard, he just dies. You might ask how, and I'm gonna tell you. Stars and Stripes was able to make a nuclear attack with missiles, creating an immense attack, possibly able to destroy cities or islands. And even though Shigaraki was dug under the ground a bit, he comes out and recovers from it. And this is also Shigaraki's incomplete form, and seeing how Shigaraki survived that and Deku was completely able to put an end to Shigaraki in a punch that changed the weather of a country, bro, and probably the world too, but I think that's stretching it. Yeah, I think Deku got it, bro. He's gonna eradicate Mahoraga like he did to Shigaraki, bro. So now what Sukuna can do is either his world cutting slash or his domain, which we'll get into that in the scenarios, but what we will say is those two techniques have have potential to take down Deku, but other than that, we'll get into it later. Okay, so really quick, just for Mahito, we think this is kind of a draw or one just kills the other. Let me explain. When Mahito touched Yuji, Sukuna ended up pushing him out and rejecting him. Now, I don't want to hear no bull about you need curse energy to hurt curses or even see them. We're going to equalize it out and say Deku is able to hurt curses. How? We're going to use Deku's soul. As you know, something's inside of Deku's soul and it's the previous users for One for All. How can we assume this? Well, they're all dead and All Might's not there because he's still alive, so we're just going to assume that all these guys are just souls. Like the Avatar, bro. Literally like the Avatar. So here's where it gets tricky. If Mahito touches Deku, can Deku's souls push and reject Mahito out like Sukuna did? We talked it over and some said no, some said yes. The reasoning behind the people that said yes was because they were able to push out Shigaraki. The reason the people said no is because Sukuna is a different beast and he has thousands of years of experience and he knows how to counter or probably know how to counter Mahito's ideal transfiguration. If Deku can touch Mahito's soul or the outline of it like Yuji does because he also has multiple souls in him that were able to push out Shigaraki, well maybe they can push into Mahito and hurt him. And so maybe Deku is a good counter just like Sukuna to Mahito, as if Mahito tries to touch his soul, he will get pushed out and Deku is able to damage him. Or we can throw all that out the window and say he can't damage Mahito and Mahito can fully damage Deku. Now it's up to you guys to decide whether which one is right and which one's wrong. We also have to take in the fact that Deku's really fast and if Mahito can even catch him, so who knows? I'll leave it up to the comments to decide.
Satoru Gojo, the Honored One. Gojo is easily the strongest in the verse. His abilities are no match for 99% of JJK. If it was Sukuna and Gojo fighting one-on-one, Gojo would have a bit of trouble, but he would win. We want to start off by mentioning Limitless. This allows Gojo to infinitely slow down any physical attack that comes near him. He was shown to be able to turn this off and on when he was younger, but now it's on 24/7. When Limitless is active, you would not be able to touch Gojo. His sixth size allows him to see curse energy on an extreme level. His eyes also allow him to have infinite use of his techniques: blue, red, hollow purple, and RCT. Blue is bringing the concept of negative mass into existence, while also buffing Gojo's damage. Red grants the power to repel by reversing Limitless. Hollow purple is achieved by combining both red and blue. This creates an imaginary mass that erases anything that it comes into contact with. We did talk about how domains work here. If you're interested, I would recommend you check it out. Link is in the description. So basically, what Infinite Void does is overload anyone who is caught in the domain with an endless amount of information. This causes the unlucky soul's body to go in shock, making them immobile. So if Gojo wanted to throw a hollow purple at anyone who was caught within the domain, there's no chance that you're moving out of the way.
Sadly, my bros and broettes, Deku cannot solo Gojo. He's not Maharaga or Sukuna. Deku cannot make a binding vow or even get close to Gojo, and no, gear shift will not work as it only affects inertia, not space. Please do not bring up that panel where it says Deku is bending the laws of physics. There are like multiple laws of physics, so bro, come on. There is nothing Deku can do other than blowing up the world, which he cannot do to win the battle. Now, Deku's actually in trouble due to a hollow purple. If Deku gets hit, he'll probably get eradicated. Also, if he gets caught in Infinite Void, and that's a big if since he has danger sense and whatnot and he's really fast, he'll also probably lose. It's time for the scenarios. Before we get into the scenarios, I just want to show you guys this. What is this? Do you want us to starve, bro? In all seriousness though, if you do end up making it all the way to here and you end up liking the video, you know, you hit the subscribe button, you know, like the video, you know, push it out a bit, you know what I'm saying? It would really mean the world to us. But anyways, back to the scenarios. Okay, so Deku would realistically destroy all of them but Gojo and maybe Mahito. Even if they can heal, Deku was defeating villains non-stop for days, so bro definitely has the stamina to keep going until they tire out. If Deku is bloodlusted like he wanted them dead, he would one-shot all of them one by one until Gojo is left. And yes, that includes Sukuna. Now, if Yuki successfully summons the black hole, he'll definitely die. But honestly, by the time that happens, he'd already soloed everyone. Deku also does have danger sense, so if he senses Yuki's about to pull something crazy, maybe he can kill her before the black hole. Same thing with hollow purple and Gojo's domain, but the only thing Deku could really do is just avoid them, not really, you know, kill Gojo because of Gojo's limitless. So realistically, Deku will kill everyone but Gojo. Now for Sukuna scenario, yes, the world cutting slash will be able to cut Deku. We're not gonna go in depth to what the world cutting slash is, just know that it's really OP. So the world cutting slash could probably cut off Deku Deku's head or something like that. And the next thing is the domain. If Sukuna pops it, I think Deku can tank it for a while, just like Gojo did. And then maybe Deku will man up, walk through the domain like Maharaga did, and punch Sukuna out of it. It's just a maybe. It's just a maybe. I don't really see his domain killing Deku though, because Deku is quite durable himself. So far, we have 4 ways to kill Deku indefinitely. Like, these will probably just eradicate Deku. The black hole, hollow purple, Gojo's domain, and if he does a hollow purple in his domain, which we've never seen that, but you know, and world cutting slash. But like I said before, realistically, if Deku was bloodlusted and he was moving the fastest that he's capable of, and he wants to kill all of them, everybody will get one-shotted except for Gojo. The reasoning why Sukuna would also die is because Deku hits really hard, which we explained in this video. So Sukuna definitely either getting knocked out or bro straight up just dying.
Overall, Sukuna can't do much, Todo can't do much, Yuta can't do much, and Yuji can't do much. But Gojo and Yuki, on the other hand, are very possible outliers that can affect how the fight would go. So in conclusion, if Deku was bloodlusted and moving as fast as he could, he's one-shotting everyone except for Gojo, meaning he solos everyone in JJK, except for Gojo, of course, because...
大丈夫。僕最強だから。